Can't get out of this if he's human.
I'm afraid he isn't human, sir. Not until what he did to that girl.
Young women, alluring women, hunted down by that relentless fiend whose scarlet page in the history of crime is signed Jack the Ripper.
Don't come up here.
He shocked you as the gunslinger in Shane. He won an Academy nomination for his gripping performance in Sudden Fear. Now, Jack Palance gives you his most electrifying performance as the Man in the Attic.
Your police methods will never trap the one you call Jack the Ripper.
Drawn back from his mysterious errands in the night by the fascination of the girl downstairs.
You're mocking me! Same as my mother. Same as all of them. Mocking love, living for lust. You are evil.
At last, the amazing, authentic story of Jack the Ripper, the unknown killer whose mass murders shocked the world. The actual cases in the actual setting. London, a city torn apart by fear and hate, as the mob howled for the blood of the human monster Scotland Yard could never catch.
Every lunatic and sensation seeker in London has given himself up as Jack the Ripper.
Stop using that stupid name!
I didn't christen him, sir, but the one who did knew what he was talking about. Have you ever seen any of his victims?
Who was this arch-fiend who struck in the night? Why were prostitutes his chosen victims?
Mary Clark. Mary Clark. Are you Mary Clark?
Who was Mary Clark, the mystery woman who held the key to his strange passions? What was the ghastly trademark he left on every corpse?
These wounds are not the savage slashings of a maniac. Careful, well-defined abdominal incisions that show a good knowledge of anatomy and surgery.
Now you'll see this sensational true story from the files of Scotland Yard revealed in all its shocking scope. Girls the Ripper marked for death, caught in the grip of uncontrollable hysteria. The wild gay nights of the turbulent city shadowed by the bloodlust of the most terrifying killer of all time.
The Ripper, he's done it in. The Ripper, he's done another woman. The Ripper, he's done it again. The Ripper's done it again.
You too will be swept along in a spell of seething panic as the screen gives a startling answer to the most baffling question in the history of crime.
Between the 2nd of April, 1888, and September the 17th, 1889, a dreadful fear descended over the streets of London. No one who saw that face lived, except one small child whom he spared, because she was his own flesh and blood.
There was another murder. They're looking for Jack the Ripper. It's you.
The records tell us that the Ripper killed 9 times.
Mrs. Golding?
Now Hammer reveal how the curse lived on into a 2nd generation of terror.
Whoever impaled that unfortunate woman on this poker possessed immense physical strength.
Anna is upstairs at this moment.
She's what?
Oh, Miss Anna, you're going to look lovely tonight.
Damn it, Pritchard, you've got a possessed being in your home, as savage as any wild beast.
There's a violence in this girl. I felt it there. Something quite sudden. It's still there now. Something horribly violent.
These are the streets. And these are the women. And this is the girl who inherited the hands that Jack used.
England came to a standstill 9 times at the turn of the century with the arrival of Jack the Ripper. He left no clues, no leads, just a ghoulish sight of mutilated prostitutes' bodies. Enter the terrifying and murderous world of Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper, the brutal assassin of women. The doctor who by day performs surgery and by night butchery.
What are you gaping at?
I think there's a shark in the Thames.
What do you mean?
A shark called Jack the Ripper.
We must notify Scotland Yard. I saw him kill the girl.
It's clear the killer is
Jack the Ripper.
It was Jack the Ripper. What's happening? The Ripper again.
Once a lively young lass, and now some bloodstains on a wall.
I am your dream girl. You can do anything you want with me.
I've had enough of you!
Please, not that!
Doctor, escape! The police are here!
Jack the Ripper. Just close your eyes and whisper his name. Jack the Ripper.
You want what you think.
In the autumn of 1888, London's huge metropolis was gripped by fear.
Murdering Whitechapel! Get the stuff! 1 penny!
On the teeming streets of Whitechapel, women were being torn to pieces by a killer who vanished in the shadows, time after time. So terrible was the savagery that the world remembers it still. Jack the Ripper. Leading the manhunt was Scotland Yard's Inspector Frederick George Aberley.
Mary Nichols was a shilling whore. She wasn't killed for money, she didn't have any. And according to the doctors, she wasn't even sexually assaulted. Yet somebody tore her to pieces in the street.
So find him.
Let me know if you hear anything, Kathy.
Of course I will, Georgie.
I've seen him. The killer.
You saw the killer? In a vision?
Look for a man with 2 faces.
Is this what you saw in your vision?
Not exactly, Miss Prentice. The hair is too long.
Oh, it's shorter hair. You know who he reminds me of? Richard, that's who it is. Richard Mansfield, the American actor.
Mr. Williams, what exactly is madness? Is it possible to be half mad, like Normal 1 minute and insane the next.
A saint and a beast, you mean? Yeah. And one human being.
What do you want, Freddie?
Everything you know about Mansfield.
Mansfield?
But you don't think I'm caught up in all that, do you?
All of what? I would just like to meet the man who gave you your other face.
I'll never forget that coach, Inspector. I've ridden in it, you see, when I went to see the Queen.
The Queen? What exactly are these rumors about her grandson, Prince Albert Victor?
Well, they say the prince has been seen in a house of ill repute, Prime Minister.
Where?
Whitechapel, in the very area where these murders are taking place.
If I'd been born on the right side of the blanket, I'd have been a top surgeon by now. What's in the mind?
My name's Lusk, George Lusk. I'm
Chairman of the so-called Vigilante Committee. I wonder when you were going to show your face.
I'll show you more than a face, Abilene. I'll show you 100 armed men.
The East End of London is out of control.
What are you waiting for, eh?
On the last day of September, the Ripper's reign of terror reached new heights. The first victim on that night was Elizabeth Stride in Berners Street. The second was Catherine Eddowes, less than a mile away in Mitre Square. But worse, much worse, was still to come.
100 years ago, there was a series of murders so grisly.
Some theorize that Jack the Ripper was a medical man. I believe that would also apply in this case.
Human mutilations so meticulous.
My brother didn't kill anybody.
That an entire city was paralyzed in fear. Now, 100 years later, to the day, the Ripper has returned. Jack's back.
Inspector, I know your reputation for making brilliant guesses that turn out to be right. Someone told me you claim to dream the answers.
Sometime this evening, a Bangtail was murdered in George Yard.
That doesn't sound much out of the ordinary.
It was the way she was done, Inspector. It was the way that she was done that cries out for a man of your talent.
He can foresee the victims.
I saw her. I saw her face.
You have visions about me?
Most definitely.
You know, they used to burn men like you alive.
He could sense the suspects.
He must be someone with money.
And how do you know that?
This ain't killing for profit. This is ritual.
But for an inspector in charge of the world's most infamous investigations,
he's punishing them. I want double shifts within this area.
You'll have mayhem on the streets.
I believe this was done by someone with a working knowledge of dissection.
An educated man, that's preposterous.
The last thing he expected.
I want you and your friends off the streets until I can sort this thing out.
I do trust you.
Was to get close to someone who would be next.
Jack the Ripper's not finished.
Where is he?
I want you.
One day, men will look back and say that I gave birth to the 20th century.
You're not going to see the 20th century.
This used to be a decent, God-fearing community. What could make a man do something like this?
He's given himself a little trade name.
Jack the Ripper.
It's good, isn't it?
These girls come and go all the time.
No wonder someone's turned against them.
Is there anything missing from the victim?
The kidney. Completely removed.
I will not have the good name of Whitechapel besmirched any further.
Why is he doing anything?
Just let me listen. To who? To us.
Jesus Christ.
I know where you go. And I know what you do.
Do you have any suspect in mind for these crimes?
No, I had nothing to do with Irish murders.
True.
You remember the big Jack the Ripper scare? That was me. I came up with that.
Those were the good times.
It was the letters that he supposedly wrote, confessing to the murders. I did them.
Trying that one again, are you? Fake Ripper letters. That ain't gonna work unless there's a murder to go with it.
See, I didn't write that one.
And why should I believe that?
These Ripper letters, they're a gift from God, Sebastian.
So what'll it be then?
No, he's back. Exactly like the letter said.
Are you saying Jack the Ripper's come back?
Take him to the cells.
He's sending me those letters to set me up.
Here she is. The final victim of Jack the Ripper.